Welcome to today's video. Get ready to witness heart-pounding, edge-of-your-seat moments where one small mistake can lead to disastrous consequences. Every decision, every move matters when it comes to protecting lives. Stay alert and stay safe. A truck suddenly deviated from its lane and range into oncoming traffic. The catastrophic collision caused the oncoming vehicle to slip towards the camera, creating a breathe-strong scene right on the highway. The driver tried to overtake the truck, but when he saw the oncoming vehicle, he turned the wheel back into the lane, causing the vehicle to slip and crash into the Toyota's chassis. Not stopping there, 2 trucks and 1 dump truck continued to crash into the pile of crashes. A chain of chaos, just because of a reckless overtaking. A Coca-Cola truck speed on the highway, then crossed an intersection with traffic lights. The result, hits a truck and a Mercedes convertible. An accident as predicted. Seeing that all 3 lanes were jammed, the BMW driver rushed into the narrow gap between the 2 vehicles without asking to overtake. Consequence: crashed into the white car, causing it to lose its control and crash into the Toyota. Both cars collided into the middle strip. The truck driver brakes to avoid the car in front, but the cabin overtakes, causing him to lose control completely. The truck rides straight into the car in front, pushing it off the lane. Instead of turning, the Suzuki Swift keeps speeding and rides straight into the curb. The impact causes the car to bounce, flying past the camera's view. A flying drive, literally. The 2 cars collapsed and righted straight into the concrete barrier. Luckily for the driver, he had a dash cam. If there was no barrier, his car would have suffered the same fate. It's unclear why the tanker truck was blocking the road just as the container was approaching. It couldn't brake in time. The container hardly crashed into the tanker truck's body before stopping. The truck suddenly loses control, rushes through the intersection and crashes straight into the house across the street. Luckily, the people inside the house see it in time and narrowly escape the collision. The truck driver appeared to not pay attention to the caravan parked on the side of the road. When he realized it, it was too late. The truck hit hard, sending debris flying into the air. The tow truck driver suddenly turned left onto the side of the road without looking. Without signaling. Cars behind him were going at high speed and couldn't react in time, and hardly collided with the tow truck. One car was overwhelmed, crashing straight into a tree on the side of the road. The dog was running around in the middle of the road, forcing the truck driver to brake and steering to avoid a collision. The car swerved onto the sidewalk in the opposite direction, almost hitting a man behind the wall. The car suddenly reversed hard, crashing the wall of the parking lot and then crushing a series of motorbikes inside. Heart-stopping moment. Heavy damage in just a few seconds of losing control. Train crashes hard into car in simulation, reminding everyone of the death risk when crossing the tracks carelessly. The tractor-trailer loses control, sliding on the wet, slippery road, making everyone who witnessed it shurry. But miraculously, no collision, no flip, the car quietly parks on the side of the road as if by magic. The truck driver didn't pay attention to the blind spot when changing lanes, pushing a car dozens of meters, getting stuck in the front bumper. Luckily, the passengers inside were miraculously safe. The truck loaded with bags of corn loses control and overlooks, causing the driver to go through the windshield. The bags of corn flip. The car flips over and crushes a car parked in front of a house. The car suddenly ran off the side of the highway, almost hits a police officer who was handling another accident. Luckily, he managed to dodge by a nearby foot. Drunk SUV driver drove the wrong way on US highway, causing serious multiple collision. The truck in front suddenly decreased, leaving the tanker truck behind without time to react. Despite trying to steer away, the collision still occurred. The tanker truck hardly crashed into the back of the truck, causing the cabin to flash out violently. The fuel tanker was hit by the truck while crossing the intersection. Just seconds later, a fire burned violently, turning the entire area into a sea of fire. A collision that carried deadly danger. The homemade vehicle pulled by buffaloes was stopping to pick up trash when it was hardly crashed from behind by the container truck. The collision almost caused a chain reaction with other vehicles. The driver suddenly turned right to leave the highway, not seeing the stopped traffic because the yellow truck blocks it. The Ford crashed straight into the back of the white truck, then was hit by a heavy-duty truck from the left. The military vehicle suddenly ran a red light without a guide car. At that moment, the truck rapidly crashed straight ahead. The collision caused the military vehicle to lose its control, crashing into a car waiting at a red light in the opposite direction. The car righted straight across the grass, blocking the oncoming truck. The truck collision. The car spined 180 degrees. The truck loses control, crashes into the barrier, and burns to fire. A mistake in handling almost turned into a disaster. On the bridge over the Yellow River, the slippery road and poor visibility cause a series of vehicles to crash into each other at high speed. A series of violent consecutive collisions. The moving container suddenly lost control due to the slippery road surface and running straight into the median strip. Luckily, there were no injuries. Narrow escape. A young boy stood in front of a grocery store next to a woman in a red shirt when suddenly a pickup truck barreled across the road and drove straight into their spot. Fortunately, both jumped to the right just in time, barely escaping disaster. The truck sped up, collapsed, and overtaken right at the station, spilling tons of cement, causing the whole area to be blurred in white dust. A car in front was almost swept away, but the driver managed to out of the way. The truck driver lost control, pressed the brakes many times, but the vehicle still rushed forward. Crushed into a pickup truck passing through the intersection, then destroyed the median strip and knocked down a street lamp post. A serious accident just because the brakes failed. The silver car hurriedly rushed through the intersection despite the red light, just as another car from the opposite direction sped up. The hard collision caused heavy damage to both cars' front ends. The truck recklessly runs a red light, gets hardly hits by a bus on the side. Surprisingly, the passenger in the front is still. Smile after the collision. An unbelievable moment. White SUV speeding through the intersection, not slowing down, crashed straight into a car crossing the road. The collision caused the car to fall over multiple times in the air. A terrifying moment just because of speeding and reckless overtaking. The car crossed the road without looking, just as the container crashed in at high speed. The strong collision caused the car to spin, the front part crushed, an expensive lesson for carelessness. The black pickup truck running through the red light, just as the white car from the intersection running at high speed. The strong collision caused heavy damage to both cars, the white car even running up on a tree bed in the middle of the road. Heavy impact, truck rolls freely. A truck was parked for unloading when suddenly a dump truck slammed into its rear while trying to avoid an oncoming semi-truck. The impact sent the truck rolling uncontrolled on the road, creating a dangerous situation. Drift too much. Two wheels fall off. The pickup truck spun extremely sharply, losing two wheels in the middle of the road. But the driver still avoided a head-on collision with a series of cars on a crowded street. Pickup truck runs crazy from police, crashes through a spiked tire barrier, loses control, and flies into the air, landing straight onto another car. A breathtaking action movie escape. The tractor trailer was running when one wheel came off, rolled like a bullet across the road, and hardly crashed a car going the opposite way. The front of the car was heavily damaged. For unknown reasons, the Audi speeds straight into the truck on the highway, causing the truck to sway in the middle of the lane. Luckily, there were no injuries. The taxi suddenly cut across without observing the surrounding traffic. At that moment, the camera car speed up, not brakes in time, and a head-on collision occurred. The black car brakes hard. The small truck then doesn't brake in time and swerves to the left to avoid it. But at that moment, a tractor trailer came in the opposite direction, hits the truck back and pushes it into a house. The tractor trailer speed through the red light, hardly crashed into another car, causing both to flip up, then overlap, sliding, and hitting an SUV and another car. Instead of waiting for the postal truck to pass, the reckless driver turned in front of the vehicle. The result? An avoidable collision. A disastrous rash move. The tanker truck had a problem and stopped on the side of the road. A car behind also stopped. Suddenly, a driver who lacked observation running forward, kicking hard into the car, pushing it to collide with the tank truck in front. Loss of control in a flash, and the crash onto the sidewalk. A silver car suddenly swerved onto the sidewalk, breaking a tree on the side of the road. Luckily, no one was injured. It was raining. The road was slippery. The container suddenly had an accident, causing the cargo container to leave, sliding along level at high speed. The result? Consequential collisions with two oncoming cars. The small truck loses control, veers to the right, lightly collapses with a small car. Immediately after, the tractor trailer on the right doesn't have time to react and hits head-on into the small car. A series of collisions in just a split second. The silver car realized that it had gone too far past the turn, immediately stopped in the middle of the road and changed lanes, causing the car behind to brake and burn the road. A truck was forced to swift to avoid it, but was hit by the car behind because it did not react in time. Losing control on the highway, the tractor trailer hits the railing, plunges 6 meters down the slope, and falls into the cabin of the water truck below. A heart-stopping accident between two levels of the road, too sudden to avoid. The truck crashed into the sedan and then overlapped, slipping quickly towards the line of traffic waiting at the red light. A man on a motorbike reflected quickly, left the vehicle and dodged before the accident happened. In the Laliki Tunnel, the driver's speed at over 170 kilometers per hour crashed into the rear of the car in front, causing the car to run head-on into the oncoming car. A serious multi-collection, high speed, big consequences. Traffic jam. The cars stopped, but the gray car did not brake in time, turned left, then coalesced and overturned. Not stopping there, the car behind rapidly shocked the gray car a few more times and then hit the railing. Street cameras captured the moment the vehicle tried to turn around, but suddenly collisioned with a pedestrian on the side of the road, knocking the victim into the river. A negligent act with serious consequences. A double trailer truck trying to cross the rails as the train approached, but because it was too long, it didn't have time to escape. The train crashed the second cargo compartment, dragged it a short distance before stopping. The cement truck loses control due to a faulty handbrake, rapidly storms on the road, and continuously crashes 22 cars. A chaotic scene. The blue SUV had just turned into the street when it encountered an onward car and a car parked on the left. Instead of stopping, the driver rarely swerved through the narrow gap and hit both sides of the car. Severe damage on both sides. The cabin has gone over the rails, but the truck's body didn't make it. The train comes, destroying the entire body. A hasty decision, almost costing lives. The white car slowly turned, then the black car speed up like an arrow. Not having time to react, the white car was hardly crashed, spinning on the road. Both cars were heavily damaged. A young man driving a motorbike running through a red light, just as a container truck carrying an electric pole rushed by. The result, the container overtakes, the motorbike is crushed. A moment of mistake, changed for a life. The truck was crossing the street when the tanker truck rapidly crashed head-on into the body of the vehicle. The collision caused the truck to take off, almost crushing the motorbike next to it. The container truck was entering the roundabout when it loses balance and overtakes it in the midst of the way. Luckily, the camera-equipped car brakes in time. A narrow escape. The young man driving the Toyota Etios suddenly lost control. The car ranged off the road, crossed the curb, and crashed a wooden gate before overlapping. Traffic jack ahead. The tractor trailer is stuck with the cargo still on the rails. The train comes. A collision happens. Luckily, the train slowed down so the crash wasn't too hard. While the line of cars were stopped due to traffic jam, a tractor trailer suddenly rushed forward, crashing consequently into a series of cars. The reason? Supposed to be brake failure. Toyota Prado driver expanded his traction by turning right before turning left, but suddenly hits the car behind from the side. The collision caused the car to flip and slide several meters. The driver of the personnel vehicle risked his life to cross the tracks just as the train was approaching. A direct right-side collision dragged the car dozens of meters. A terrifying moment, just because of a second of slow observation. The tractor trailer suddenly sways, crosses 2 lanes, and hardly crashes the Ford. Both vehicles then ride into the concrete middle strip. The pickup truck was running when it suddenly swerved into the opposite lane. Crushed into a motorbike, causing 2 people to be thrown onto the road. A painful moment just because of losing control. The truck suddenly comes forward, crashing hard into the front of the container going in the same direction. The collision caused the front of the car to be stuck, being dragged for a long distance before stopping. The passenger bus and the truck collised head-on while crossing the intersection. Then both continued to rush onto the sidewalk, knocking down an electric pole. A violent collision. The car slides sideways across the road and then runs straight into a group of people. Dust flies everywhere. Many people are hit, including a man who is flooded backwards. Finally, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss out on more thrilling content. Hit that notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.